Hello, welcome back to the Devil on the G-string. I'm now going to begin Shiratori's route. So, for this, you go back to a choice, I'll avoid the subject, and I should listen to her. This time, I need to pick, I'll avoid the subject. I cleared my throat. Sorry, Canon, but can it wait for another time?
So?
Yes, I'm sorry. I tried to be as cold as possible.
わかったよ。ごめんね。変なふりして。
Like you said, I'm pretty busy.
知ってる。
Okay then. Great. You should take your bath now.
はーい。
She hurried into the changing room. I don't feel anything. The snow outside is constantly changing. It falls silently and will disappear by morning. I've always looked at Canon as a source of income. That's all. And she'll never be anything more than that. My head hurt so much I swore my skull was about to burst. I decided to get to sleep early today. I flipped open the newspaper after seeing Canon off the next morning. Even though Canon was making headlines in the sports section, my interests really laid elsewhere. The conflict between the Somiyama and Shin'e groups was escalating. Late last night, a firefight erupted in the vicinity of Central Boulevard. One man from Shin'e was dead, and two Somiyama men were in intensive care after sustaining bullet wounds. Even our legitimate businesses are suffering from this incident. Nothing piles the work on my desk like falling revenues at the clubs downtown. The stress it's giving me might even be what's causing the headaches that have been brutalizing my vision. However, if Maou wanted to act, he wouldn't waste today's chance. Canon's performance doesn't start until around 8 tonight, but the sooner we get Saijou to spill the beans, the better. Surely no one would start a shootout in broad daylight, but I still have to be careful to make sure I'm not targeted.
Juice.
Tokita isn't here yet?
Yuki は朝弱いので。
It's noon, Usami. I knew any friend of hers couldn't be normal.
それより一ついいですか？
Sure, shoot.
西条が宿泊していたホテルから西条の荷物を確認してみたんですが。
Anything interesting in there?
気になるのはパスポートと航空券ですね。航空券は今日の予約でした。
He was going to flee by plane? Where was he headed?
香港行きのチケットでしたね。
So he was leaving the country? If the ticket was for today, then that must mean he was planning on taking some action today and getting the heck out immediately afterward.
ええ。そして海外まで逃げなければならないほど大きな事件を起こす気だったのです。
Something so big, the police would show up immediately?
でしょうね。
Well, if we consider the possibility that Maou may attempt an escape as well, we should set up a patrol at the airport.
そんな余裕はあるんですか？
Try watching the news for once. Yes, if you haven't noticed, we're pretty much fighting a war right now. The Somiyama group has over 1,000 members, all on standby due to the current conflict. Of course, this figure is inflated somewhat by the inclusion of street hoodlum associates and such. But naturally, even these members aren't spared from their harsh duties during wartime. How many people have been mobilized for Canon by now, I wonder?
浅井さんは弾狙われたりしないんすか？
Not many people know me by face. I've been posing as a normal student, after all.
何にしてもお気をつけて。
Don't worry, Gonzou wouldn't give a darn if I was taken hostage. I think everyone's caught on to this by now.
それはそれで 寂しいお話ですね。
Why is this Joker staring at me?
お待たせ。
I heard a voice and turned around to find Tokita. Do you think you're late enough?
だって春が起こしてくれないんだもの。
いや、私は5回くらいモーニングコールしたよ。
昔は家まで迎えに来てくれたのに。
だって家知らないし。
Stop going back and forth with this crowd. Let's go already. We passed through the narrow alleys of Central Boulevard and headed toward the building that held Saijou. Hey, Tokita, don't forget what you promised yesterday, okay? Tokita flashed me a confident smile.
簡単よ。すぐに終わらせてあげる。
おい、時田、遅いじゃないか。
The moment Tokita sat down, Saijou screamed, "That's what we said."
まったく、すぐ戻ってくるものだとばかり思っていたが、一体何の真似だ。
Tokita frowned and glanced at Saijou apologetically.
本当にすみません。私がいない間、何かありましたか？
What a clever response. The guy's not only been left alone, but he's been given booze, 3 square meals a day, and nap time, for God's sake. Anything more and he'd be in a jacuzzi at the Ritz with high-class weapons.
実は、とても残念なお知らせがありまして。
なんだ、どうした？
Tokita shook her head and let her gaze fall. After letting a good amount of time pass, she finally responded.
連中は、あなたを。許すつもりはないようなのです。
Saijou was speechless. Tokita's tone was full of sincerity. Yet it still bore gravity.
すみません。本当に。
She seemed to pale somewhat, as if to pretend she'd spent the past 24 hours bargaining for his freedom. However, Tokita's words weren't a lie. It's crystal clear that Saijou isn't going to be released. Yuki was also honest when she first met with Saijou, introducing herself as Usami's friend, perhaps telling the truth as some sort of rule of negotiation.
それでも、私がここに戻ってきたのは、まだお話の途中だったからです。望みはあると思っています。そう。何か取引になるような材料さえあれば。
取引だと？
Saijou stared unblinkingly at Tokita.
ええ。あなたが許されるに足りるような材料です。
それはつまり、魔王の計画を話せということだろう。昨日も言ったが、それは。
He cut himself off.
大体、話せば助かるという保証はあるのか？ないだろう。
京介。
Tokita suddenly called my given name without an honorific.
どういう取り決めになっているか話してあげて。
Tokita must be trying to demonstrate her power to Saijou. So I'm forced to be the bad guy, is that it? If you don't talk, you'll be killed. However, if you tell us about Maou, this whole thing will blow over smoothly. I'm the son of the head of the Soniyama group. I'll probably inherit this position. You can take my word as the organization's word. I just pulled stuff out of my boot. Tokita, who's on a first-name basis with the son of the group's leader, turned back to Saijou.
というわけだけれど、残念ね。あなたはとても義理がたい人だから。
Saijou kept silent. Silence is probably the only thing he can manage. His pupils erratically focused on the floor as he ground his teeth.
こういうのはどうかしら。
Having used a low voice, as if whispering to him alone, Tokita immediately got his attention. Saijou's eyes quickly switched back to her as he listened intently.
西条さん、昨日の話の続きをしましょう。
At some point, she cast off her reverent and respectful diction and shifted her pose forward.
昨日の話、覚えてるわね。
私の話だったな。
そう。 あなたが今日何をするつもりだったのか詳しく話してほしいの。別に魔王の話をする必要はないわ。あくまであなたがあなたの行動を話すのであって、それが例えば魔王の計画を漏らすことになったのだとしても、私にはわからないわ。
Tokita must be trying to say, I'm the only one that won't scorn you.
大丈夫よ。真実を話してくれればいいだけなんだから。真実は好きでしょ。あなたは世の中のいろんな嘘や欺瞞に疲れてる。違う？
This is probably the coup de grace. These abstract, intangible words will inflate a sense of greatness and stimulate his
お
pride.
願い。これが最後よ。力を貸して。
I don't remember how to pronounce that. After that came the silence. Saijou's feet started to shake. And after keeping his head hung low for so long, he finally lifted it to stare at Tokita. Will he talk? Saijou flashed me an expression of horror before relaxing his shoulders with a look of exhaustion. At length, he opened his trembling lips.
狙いは浅いかの。リンクに向けて爆弾を投げ込む予定だった。
A bomb! I couldn't help but scream out. Usami spoke up quickly as well.
荷物を調べさせてもらいましたが、あなたは爆弾を持っていない。
Saijou suddenly flamed up. I suppose it may have had something to do with the appearance of Usami, the target of his hatred.
詳しくお話ししてもらえるのよね、西条さん。あなたは約束は守る人でしょ。
会場で受け取る予定だった。
魔王からですね。
Saijou didn't answer, but it was as good a confirmation as any.
浅井さん、フィギュアスケート会場に爆弾なんて持ち込めるんですか？
I don't know much about bombs, but can't you make pretty small ones these days? Seems like it'd be a cinch. All you have to do is sash in your pocket and walk right in. There are searches at the entrance, but it's far more. But that's more for things like cameras. They won't actually do a thorough inspection of your personal belongings. Unable to control myself, I inched closer to Saijou. Why? Why can't I?
それは私の知るところではない。私はただ共に協力するだけだ。
いいえ、浅井さん。魔王の目的はずれていません。
What?
今回の脅迫事件は、もともとカノンに負けるよう指示するものでした。
So you're saying he's resorted to direct violence? I don't know too much about the power of a bomb, but if Cannon's injured at all, she's done for. When? When were you planning to detonate the bomb?
詳しい手口は知らない。
Don't mess with me! Tokita's hand stopped me.
嘘はついていないわ。
リンクに投げ込むと言いましたね。ということは、タイミングは演技前の練習の時か、演技中、カノンが現れた時ですね。
Usami also pressed closer to Saijou.
爆弾を受け取る予定だと？
あ
あ。あなたは魔王と顔を合わせたことがあるんですか？
Right. How was the handoff supposed to go down?
あったことはない。今日初めて顔を合わせるはずだった。
He scratched his nose while talking.
どこで待ち合わせる予定だったんですか？会場の中？外？
会場内だ。
売店？トイレ？客席？
それは時間が来たら連絡すると言っていた。
時間はいつ
？8時近くだ。携帯電話が鳴るまで私は客席に座って待機していればよかった。
Usami kept on nodding.
私からの最後の質問です。あなたのご友人は、たとえあなたの協力が得られなくても、目的を成し遂げようとすると思いますか？
At that, Saijou cracked up.
当たり前だ、宇佐美。彼は現在のフィギュアスケートを憎んでいる。 浅井カノンとかいう生意気な小娘を許すことはないだろう。
His laughter only grew louder and more maniacal, reverberating around the tiny room.
そうだ、私が喋っても意味はない。魔王は賢い。私が捕まったとしても必ず貴様らの裏をかいた作戦を用意してことに臨むだろう。魔王はもう2人も殺しているにもかかわらず、警察の手も及ばないほど有能な犯罪者だ。そうだ、私が何を言ったところで構うもんか。
It sounds as if he's trying to defend his weakness for confessing. He's killed 2 people? I pressed ever closer to Saijou. Who was the second? I thought it was only that designer.
おや、まだ知らないのか。バレエダンサーの男だ。海に突き落として殺した。
So that's what happened.
さあ、私を解放しろ。約束は守れよ、時田。
まだあるわ、西条さん。
She shook her head.
まだ話し足りないことがあるはずよ。そう。例えば魔王の風貌ね。
Saijou's eyebrow twitched.
顔を合わせたことがないというのは本当でしょう。でも待ち合わせにあたって魔王は何か自分の特徴を口にしていなかった？
Fine.
いいだろう。ニット帽だ。黒のニット帽をかぶった細身で長身の男が魔王だ。
どうもありがとう。
Okay. That's what he looks like. Tokita blossomed with a gentle smile that I hadn't seen before.
さようなら。もう会うこともないでしょう。
なんだって？
Saijou's eyes widened in shock.
待て。お前。
あなたは私の春をナイフで切り裂こうとした。
Tokita spoke harshly.
嘘はついていないわよ。私は弁護士ではないのだからね。
私を救うと？
ええ。あなたは妹を殺しておいて何も顧みなかったようね。そういう人間が救われるのは。
Tokita's gaze was flashing bewitchingly.
ね。わかるでしょ？
Saijou didn't move a single inch. He just maintained that glare. All that remained was a sad man, harshly beaten far too many times. The sky had already started to darken.
会えて嬉しかったわ、京介くん。
Tokita wanted to shake hands with me. You were a big help. I guess I owe you one.
礼なんていいのよ。ね、あり？
はい。
Usami was saluting for some reason.
大変な事件が起こってるみたいだけど、頑張ってね。
Tokita waved as she disappeared into the crowds of the lavish street. First things first, I'll go report to Gonzou.
浅井さん、スケートのチケットお持ちですか？
Oh, right. You can have mine. Go ahead, I'll meet you there.
ひとまず会場の出入り口を見張っておくとします。
Sounds logical. Maou might already be in the arena though.
よし、じゃあ解散。
Usami ran off with an excessively high-strung voice. My entire body is sore. My fever is acting up again, and now of all times. I stormed into Gonzou's estate and quickly explained the situation.
今晩9時、親衛会の事務所を一家総出で囲む。あまり人は動かせない。
I realized the situation with Shinae is one of the utmost concern, but Kanon's life is at risk.
乗り込みはもう連合全体に告知したことだ。俺も自ら出る。 今さら取りやめられん。
Right, but
この家にいるものを使え。
but are you going to be alright? Very well. I've already prepared 10 tickets, so we should be ready to move.
そっちの指揮は堀部に任せる。うまく使え。
Gonzou appeared to be on a high in the face of the upcoming hunt. I contacted Horibe and headed toward the arena. It's already near 6 o'clock. Famous skaters from overseas are battling it out on the ice, and the crowd is boiling into a heated frenzy.
浅井さん、すみません。
Though we were nearly drowning in a sea of people, I was able to meet up with Usami.
魔王らしき人物は見当たりませんでした。見落とした可能性もあります。
This crowd makes it easy to miss someone. According to Saijou's confession, Maou was supposed to be wearing something like a black wool cap, right?
ええ、しかしいつも被っているとは限りません。
Right, I suppose not. Hats are pretty conspicuous.
おそらくカノンの登場時間が近づいてからが勝負でしょう。
I understand, but first, on the off chance that Mao's somewhere nearby, let's split up and look around. He's a tall, lean young man,
あ
right?
まり効率的とは言えませんが、今はそれしかなさそうですね。
Yeah, let's do a look and meet back here. Horibe-san, how are things on your end? 8 Samayama men were scattered about the arena, including Horibe. We spoke over the phone.
いやー無理でしょ坊ちゃん。もうちょっと特徴がつかめねえと。細身で長身の野郎なんていくらでもいますからね。
Yeah, I know. Sorry I can't give you anything else to go on.
気が焦るのはわかりますがね。また何か分かったら連絡ください。
Of course I'm anxious. After all, if I don't do something... another headache.
浅井さん、どうです？
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just fed up with my own stupidity.
いえいえ、やっぱりがむしゃらに動いてみるものですね。私は魔王の犯行の糸口をつかみましたよ。
What was it?
西条がどういう方法で爆弾を投げ入れるつもりだったのかということです。
I don't know. What's so special about the way he'll throw it? I tried to adjust my blurry vision by kneading the bridge of my nose.
大丈夫ですか？
Yeah, don't worry about me. Just tell me about your epiphany.
あのお店をご覧ください。
Usami pointed in the direction of a nearby kiosk.
お花屋さんですよね。
Yeah, what about it? Usami suddenly squinted.
本当に体調が悪いみたいですね。
I told you not to worry.
いいですか？西条は香港行きの航空券を持っていたんです。ということは犯行後逃げるつもりだったわけですよね。
Sure.
ユキには悪いですが、西条の話はどうも口頭無形というか現実的ではないなと思っていたんです。だってリンクの上に爆弾なんて投げ入れて逃げられるわけがありません。
Yeah, you're probably right. There's plenty more security here today than just our Yakuza.
はい、席を立ってそんなものを投げ入れたらまず確実に取り押さえられるでしょう。
I think I'm beginning to understand her.
しかしさっきから会場を見ていれば観客がリンクに近づき自由に物を投げ入れられる瞬間があります。
I give a firm, slow nod. The flower toss.
って言うみたいですね。演技が終わった選手に客席から花束を投げ入れるんです。
You've really been thinking about this.
カノンは今日本で一番人気がある選手です。演技が終わればみんなリンク際に駆け寄ることでしょう。
And along with that flood, a bomb will be thrown onto the ice in the guise of a bouquet of flowers. And knowing how much people love Canon, I'm sure the flowers thrown tonight will rival a small garden. Thus, it will be impossible to see who threw what. Of course, if the police were to investigate, it should be a relatively simple matter to identify the assassin by examining trajectories in the arena seating plan. But if that person flees overseas before their analysis comes back with any results, it'll again be difficult to chase and catch them. So, what next?
この混雑です。カノンの演技終了までに魔王を見つけられなければ、ジ・エンドです。
Easier said than done, Usami.
ひとまず花屋さんのそばを監視しておくとします。
That'll be a waste of time if he smuggles his own flowers in. And flowers aren't necessarily the only option. Fans throw stuffed animals into the rink as well.
西条は8時近くに魔王と接触する予定だったそうですね。
I guess that's when our match will be decided. The skaters are warming up around then, and the spectators are free to roam about the arena.
しかし
Usami shook her head, unsatisfied.
どうにも後手に回っていますね。
And how sad. The intel from Saijou has brought us a long way, wouldn't you say?
それはそうですが。
Usami grew silent, lost in thought. What? Are you scared?
いえいえ。
If you're scared, Usami, you could always escape.
知らなかったんですか？大魔王からは逃げられないんですよ。
Usami walked toward the flower stall with a smirk on her face. I need to get searchy too. Kanon's life is at stake after all. She may be a little short-tempered, but she's a simple, honest girl deep down. There aren't many who understand her, but I at least have no choice but to accept her wholeheartedly. Because even if it's only in name, I'm Kanon's brother. Ugh. Why now? Darn it, my head hurts. Now then. I checked the hands of my watch. There are still 15 minutes before 8 o'clock. But still, all communications from Saijou have ceased. What should I make of that? Did he spill the proverbial beans of our plan? If so, how much did he tell? I suppose that's the more critical question. Did he tell them that I'd be wearing a wool cap? Oh well. I'll make my move. I will give you a glorious death. I took the cap out of my pocket and donned it as I walked down the corridor. Tensions inside were running a record high. After all, as Canon would soon take to the ice, the favorite to win, bearing all her fans' hopes and expectations, showed herself in the rink. Amongst the passionately cheering masses, our shoulder was suddenly grasped. It was
いいえ
worried.
連絡しても繋がらなくて。
こんだけ混みようと電波の状況も悪いみたいだな。
Haru was worried. Kyosuke had been white as a ghost the last time she saw him, and he could barely keep standing.
もう時間がありません。我々だけで探しましょう。きっと浅井さんも必死になって魔王を追っているはずです。
黒のニット帽だっけ？
はい。何としても阻止しなくては。
Haru exchanged phone numbers with Horide. A test call between them went through, albeit barely. Perhaps their phone models had good compatibility with each other, or they were using the same service provider. Haru weaved through the crowds, keeping her eyes on every lurking corner. It was now precisely 8 o'clock. The skaters were practicing on the ice, gliding around and launching themselves into the air. The monstrous audience cheered and applauded whenever one of these jumps was completed successfully. Haru made her way to a row of seats very close to the ice as she intently watched Canon dash across the rink. For a moment, she thought that her gazes met. However, Canon didn't seem to recognize her at all. Was she too deep in concentration? It was entirely possible, seeing how even the actions of the other skaters didn't seem to register with her. Haru turned her head as she meandered through the rows of seats. There! A black wool cap. And that silhouette. That unforgettable silhouette. This was without a doubt the man who escaped her by a hair's width on Central Boulevard. Haru followed the man in the aisle with her eyes. She charged forward, dialed Horibe's number, and put the cell to her ear. Fortunately, it connected right away.
堀部さん、聞こえますか？
見つけたぞ。
Haru asked for confirmation while continuing her pursuit.
見つけた？
今追ってる。
Fantastic. Haru's steps got even lighter. Horibe seems to have locked onto Maou as well, so surely this time she'll... Horibe yelled, panting.
売店だ。奴は今売店にいる。
Haru's mind suddenly went blank. How? She stopped dead in her tracks. But he's right in front of me. Mao's right over there. Usami should be drowning in confusion and helplessness narrated about Mao. The only lead she had was the cap, but there are dozens of men in their arena wearing one at the moment. My decoys were chosen according to their height, one similar to my own. There's an area in this town that serves as a sort of community for foreigners who come here to work away from home. As long as one is willing to pay, it's a simple matter to gather a group of ready and willing henchmen. I gave them tickets, ordered them to wear the caps, and told them to wander around their arena wearing a large black coat. I'm sure every last one of them thinks all Japanese look alike, but I was still careful to make sure they didn't see my face during our dealings. Their fees were paid entirely in old bills with non-sequential serial numbers. One will be hard-pressed to pull a lead out of the decoys. So, what are you going to do next, Usami?
またニット帽ですか？
Horibe's voice was getting closer. One had been spotted near the entrance, one beside the washroom. The arena was rapidly flooded by men in black wool caps. What a nightmare. Uneasiness started to set in. She had already figured that Maou would hatch some sort of plan. After all, if he is aware of outside protection, he would be. He would have no other choice. Now I'd probably plan this whole charade after realizing that Saijou would leak information regarding the cap.
いいえ、魔王は日本人です。ええ。
Calm down, Haru. Haru reprimanded herself as she crashed into spectators all through the crowded passageways of the arena. She chased the cat closest to her.
そう人数は多くないはずです。
She began to think out loud to Horibe. Maou was using foreigners as decoys. Naturally, this was to hide himself. However, he couldn't have prepared more than a dozen tickets or so. It'd be too eye-catching if he got over 20 tickets at an auction. Even if he used multiple user needs on an online auction, the police could pin them down to one person if they investigated the matter. And in any case, it was very likely that this was an impromptu plan Maou concocted on the spot. This crime was originally intended to be carried out by Saijou alone. Saijou's failure forced a change of plans upon Maou, and there hasn't been enough time since his capture to prepare a full-blown scenario.
落ち着いて、一人ずつ捕まえていきましょう。
The warm-up period will be over soon. When the competition resumes, the crowd in the halls will subside. However, that also means Haru and the Soniyama men won't be able to move around as conspicuously as they are now. Haru felt the stare of a security guard as she finally arrived at the next wolf camp. No dice. She quietly glanced at his face and discovered blue eyes. He didn't react to Haru's proximity either. He had probably just been ordered to wander around. Just in case, she talked to him, but the foreign words he replied with were in Mao's voice. According to my observations, I'd say there were 10 people chasing me, including Usami. The performance was about to begin. The audience was hushed in anticipation. If someone ran around now, they'd attract attention. Kian will be the third skater to take the ice. I'd say it'll be about 15 minutes until she does so. That leaves less than 20 before the audience begins to throw her flowers. Still, I can't believe it's turned into another game of tag. What a spirited young woman. Very well. Catch me if you can. The arena speakers announced the competitor's entrance. After a brief cheer, the crowd quieted. It was about time for Haru to stop running around. Nevertheless, she couldn't bring herself to give up. After all, there were less than 20 minutes before the end of Kanon's performance. Horibe called
こ
again.
っちは3人、そっちは
2人です。どちらも魔王ではありませんでした。
どうなってんだクソね。
Haru began to think. She needed to stay calm. She braced her gut to resist being overwhelmed by the situation.
そうなったらカノン嬢ちゃんの演技が終わった瞬間にリンクに飛び込むしかねえな。なんとか嬢ちゃんを助けねえと。
If that happens, there will be an uproar. Rumors will be plastered all over the front page. Still, Kanon's wife is the most important. Suddenly, another black cap appeared in the corner of Haru's vision. That makes 6.
おい、うさみちゃん
Horibe said as the once fading anxiety grew stronger again in
あ
his
んた
voice.
根本的に間違ってるんじゃないのか。
はい。
いいか、魔王は西条が捕まったことを知っているわけだろ。
はい。
なのにご丁寧にニット帽なんてかぶってくるか。西条がゲロすることくらい予想してるだろ。
それならば、なぜ今この時間になって大量のニット帽が現れたんですか。
Haru checked out the 6th man while talking.
堀部さんのおっしゃる通り、魔王は西条が計画を漏らしたことを予測しているでしょう。だったら一人で会場に現れればいいのです。我々は魔王の素顔を知りません。それこそニット帽をかぶる必要もなければおとりを用意する意味もないのです。
つまりどういうことだ。
That Haru still didn't know. Why would Maou bring these decoys here? The more accomplices he uses, the more chances there are for a perfect crime to be ruined. The decoys must bring him some benefit that's more enticing than the obvious risks. Perhaps he was trying to outwit Usami and the rest by thinking one step ahead again. Right now, Maou is probably capless. He was casually watching the performance. However, as Usami told Horibe moments earlier, that would defeat the purpose of the decoys. They make his pursuers grow restless, which in turn makes the security guards more than a little antsy. Security guards on edge, which undoubtedly makes things harder for Maou when he tried to escape after throwing
ニット帽を追いましょう。全員捕まえるんです。
Oh, come, lovely child. Oh, come now with me. For many a game I will play everything. The simplest answer was that Maou really is just playing a game. It wouldn't be surprising, seeing as how the situation mirrors the Miwa family's kidnapping in many ways. Maou took their ransom in a glorious farce, despite the risk, and hiring the decoys might simply be a similar act of blind confidence. Then again, that confidence was just that Maou exists somewhere amongst the caps. He's saying, "Catch me if you can." The first girl must have just finished her run. A wave of passionate applause rang out and faded again. I retrieved the backpack from the locker at the end of the hall. Its contents had been prepared well in advance. Explosives and computer-controlled detonation equipment. Technology has made the world so convenient, hasn't it? Man's progress has reached a point that even bombs come in user-friendly versions for us laymen. It costs a pretty penny, but I call it quite the bargain considering the worth of a human life. Step by step, I continued to move. I glanced at my watch. It's almost time. Usami should be flustered beyond belief right about now. But the more anxious she gets, the cooler her head will get, and the harder she'll search for me. And of course she would. Kanon's life is at stake after all. However, that still has a long way to go. I mean, just look at all the special service I've been giving her, and yet she still hasn't caught me. Oh. Looks like I played a little too much. Haru stopped her restless footsteps. The security guard had just come to question her. After an apology and an excuse, she had immediately gone after the cap in front of her again. At this point, she just hoped that this would be the last one. Based on Horibe's most recent figures, this was the 10th cap in Code. Even if there were more decoys than this, her time was pretty much up. Kanon's performance was starting. Ride of the Valkyries echoed throughout the arena. The applause rose to ridiculous volumes a countless number of times. Kanon's popularity was truly a thing of wonder. Haru caught up with the cap. At this distance, she could reach out and touch him. Mao's silhouette came to her mind again. The tall, lean man in front of her matched her memory rather well.
すみません。
Surprised, the man's shoulders shook.
魔王か。
He seems to know Japanese, at least. The man, keeping his back to Haru, stopped moving. He carried a backpack on his left shoulder.
魔王だな。
Haru moved. She reached out, trying to grab the man's arm, but she caught only air. The man suddenly broke into a sprint. Haru gave chase, refusing to let him escape. She ran with all her strength and finally cornered the man into a dead end. He stopped running and slowly turned as he caught his breath. He had balanced features. A big nose, perhaps, but sharp eyes. Haru moaned in regret. This man wasn't now. He clumsily started to explain that he didn't have a camera. Inside the arena, the average spectator isn't permitted one. Everything was explained after she looked through his bag. It was a false alarm entirely. He was simply a young man that wanted to sneak a photo of Canon. So what am I supposed to do now? Haru stood motionless, trying desperately to rouse her lost self. Kanon's performance was over. It was all over. At last, the audience gave her a standing ovation. Oblivious to her plight, Kanon showed her appreciation for the audience while doing a half-lap around the ring. And before she completes her round, the flower is thrown for her ring and a bomb of terrible, destructive power. If this keeps up, everything will end before Haru gets a chance to do anything. Just like the time she disappointed Yuki. Just like the time her mother died. How strange. At the last second, Haru regained her focus. The sounds around her no longer reached her ears. Indeed, the entire situation was strange. Now that she thought about it, everything seemed horribly wrong. There was a discrepancy. She has been confused about it ever since Usami and Gonzou approached her with the letter. Haru reconsidered the whole incident from the beginning. The suspicious points which had been like a skyscraper in a rainforest became unnoticeable as the forest grew. In an instant, Haru's scattered thoughts snapped into a single straight line.
しかし確証がない。
Haru didn't even blink. It was as if she couldn't move at all. And at last, the roar of the crowd penetrated her concentration. Screams mixed into the din slowly eroded through Haru's eardrum. She could have sworn they were mocking her, frantically shouting, "Usami lost!" Looks like I played a little too much. I almost missed the train to the Southern District. Guess I stayed at the arena for too long. Though I managed to catch the train in the end, I can't shake this nagging feeling that everything I do will fail. For example, Saijou. He was captured as a result of my underestimation of Usami. Using accomplices, constructing alibis, hosting a wild goose chase with decoys, these things certainly introduce a little variety into the concept of crime, but at the same time, accomplices are risk incarnate. And in the end, Saijou revealed my plan. Case in point. What a despicable human being. I was so kind to him, yet he betrayed me. Bit by bit, I've really come to understand that an accomplice is nothing more than a hindrance. Still, I can't help but laugh. Out of relief, that is. I'd almost like to thank Saijou for passing my fate on to those who would oppose me. Because my real target isn't Canon. It's you, Usami and Gonzou. I left the arena immediately. It's not a good idea to stay in a place with so many cameras for too long. After taking a detour halfway to retrieve the bag with the bomb near the train station, I've arrived at Gonzou's mansion. I suppose the devil has smiled on me this evening. Even though I have predicted it, no, expected it, I'm still shocked that Gonzou left himself defenseless, despite being in the middle of a war. It's a direct result of the continuous disruptions that the Soniyama group has faced this weekend. Well, it would only take a minute to plant the bomb on the bottom of Gonzou's personal Mercedes. I'm confident that I could manage it even if there had been security patrols. But in any case, tonight at 9, the General will enter the battle with Shin'e himself. He plans to wipe the small fries who dare challenge the Soniyama group off the face of the earth, apparently. Everyone in the Yakuza knows about this, so obviously I know of it too. In just a moment, the car will park near the front gate to pick up Gonzou. I'll aim for the moment the driver leaves the car to get Gonzou. Gonzou would never have thought he'd be killed this way. Car bombs and the like simply aren't in Yakuza protocols. These mafia types announce themselves first. Then they declare their intentions and charge right in for the kill. It wouldn't be honorable to take an enemy's head without going through the proper procedure. This is especially true for the highly traditional Shin'ei group. The only problem will be the police. For the same reason that Gonzou won't suspect a thing, the police will have a good chance of guessing that the person who killed Gonzou wasn't someone from Shin'ei. However, that's as far as they'll get. First off, I won't leave any evidence pointing to me as the culprit. The wool cap is a bit of a joke, but it's also here to guarantee that I won't leave any hair on the scene. Naturally, I'm using latex gloves, so I won't leave fingerprints. Though there's a chance that fibers from my clothing will be left behind, my apparel tonight consists entirely of cheap goods from local department stores. Anyone could buy this stuff. Well, even if I chose to be a little lazy, the bomb would blow most of this away. However, I took one single most important precaution. Gonzou is undoubtedly wary of me, despite the fact that he's heading straight for the chopping block. Those who remain will likely ask, where was that most suspicious Maou during Gonzou's last fatal battle with Shin'ei? Thus, I thought I'd give them an answer to ease their worries. Oh, he was angry at the state of the figure skating world and busy brooding over his grudge against the Zaikana, his representative. Hence my utilization of Saijou. I pretended to criticize figure skating with as much jargon as possible. Though I was passionately describing the new judging system, it was only a very average normal opinion that many average normal people hold, but Saijou wouldn't know that, of course. The same goes for my political ideals. I don't even have a scintilla of interest in this country's future. I admit I occasionally make some harmless comments that I have no intention of answering for, but that's more like stating your opinion after watching a movie than it is preparing for revolution. I feel no need to spout my beliefs to the masses. I simply act on them. And the more perfect those actions are, the better. The car is approaching. I hid behind a nearby house and watched the Mercedes-Benz park near the gate. An oversized skinhead stepped out of the car and disappeared into the house. Excellent. There's not a trace of another person in the vicinity, and the bomb was installed successfully. I set it to explode at 8:50 exactly. That's 10 minutes from now. It takes at least 15 minutes to get to Shin'ei's central corporate headquarters by car, even if you speed the whole way. So in order to get there by 9 o'clock, they must leave before 8:45. This way, the explosion will happen in the middle of transit. There may be some collateral damage to nearby pedestrians and vehicles, but, well, that's nothing more than a terrible case of simple bad luck. Part of being alive is dealing with the senseless executions that happen every once in a while. Just like my father's. As I walked along the winter streets, the chill soaked into my bones. I have no qualms about killing Usami and Gonzou. Gonzou is an existence that must be destroyed, and I refuse to rest until this has been realized. Mother's mental illness was directly induced by Gonzou's ceaseless hounding. Her doctor confirmed this. And right now, Gonzou's mobilized his entire organization on either Shin'ei or Camera. Once your prey shows an opening, it's only natural to move in for the kill. Isn't that right, Gonzou? Finally, the hands of my watch approach 8:50. At any rate, Usami hasn't shown much growth. This ruse was no different than the one that led her to the Plaza Hotel after rummaging through Saijou's garbage. She went through so much to get Saijou to talk, and the effort blinded her to the fact that he might have been misleading her, or misled himself. If she'd taken a moment to look at the big picture, she'd have realized that there were many holes in my presentation, but instead, she just slipped once again into the habit of focusing purely on what's in front of her. 8:50. Thunderous noise erupted and echoed within my belly. I checked to make sure, and the sky over Gonzou's house was illuminated. There were screams, What was considered the safest and most peaceful residential district in the city sank into chaos. A shallow hell. Very, very shallow. I looked down on the crowds that poked their heads out of their windows and patios. Just you wait, it'll only be a bit longer. I'll show you something far more interesting. I tightly shut my lips to stop my overconfidence in its tracks. From a strategic perspective, the victory of this battle was but an insignificant one. The ladies' short programs were all finished, and the crowd began to thin out. As if echoing my body's condition, my phone suddenly lost its signal, and I couldn't contact Usami or Horide. Though I'm dizzy and can't remember much, I know that I was chasing a man with a wool cap. But after getting swallowed by the crowd, I let him escape. Thankfully, there was no explosion. When I checked and saw that Canon was safe, I suddenly felt all the weight being lifted off my shoulders. Did Maou fail, or rather, did Usami stop him? The words of a passing pair of lovers reached my ears. There was an explosion in the southern district. Though I'm not usually one for eavesdropping, I thought it was of interest and began to listen closely. Yakuza seems to be a boss. Must be related to those shootings downtown. There's no peace in the city anymore. Just when I went looking for a public phone, I heard someone call out to me.
Azai-san.
Usami, with her brilliantly sharp eyes, was standing there.
今までどちらにいらっしゃったんですか?
Oh, sorry. I explained the situation.
心配してたんですよ。倒れてるんじゃないかって。
Didn't I tell you not to worry? Anyway, I just heard some crazy news.
はい。そうでしょうね。
Usami suddenly turned away. What's wrong?
いえ。
The corners of her eyes trembled slightly.
すみません。ひどく悔しくて。
I was forced into silence.
こんな顔、あなたに見せたくなくて。
She couldn't be more different from her usual annoying self. What a bitter expression. It took her a moment, but it looks like she's finally restrained her desire to cry out.
そのまま聞いてもらえますか?
She almost sounds like a different person.
今となっては負け惜しみのようですが、最初からおかしいとは思っていたんです。まず、第一の被害者です。
The designer that made Kanon's outfit.
脅迫状では、さも魔王が殺したように書かれていましたが、実際のところどうなのかと引っかかってはいたんです。階段から突き落としたくらいで確実に死ぬと思いますか？実際現場にも行ってみました。階段は確かに急でしたし、視界も悪いです。しかし螺旋状の階段でして、たとえ転げ落ちても途中で止まるのではないかと思いました。私はこれは警察の発表通り殺人ではなく事故なのではないかと仮定しました。魔王は殺人を装った。本当はたまたま事故死した人をさも自分が殺したように見せかけたのではないか。確証は取れませんがね。すると次に殺人を装えそうな人物がいました。2ヶ月前から帰国していて連絡の取れないバレエダンサーのユグムントさんです。私は念のため彼の不在を確認しに西区の港まで行きました。
So that was her reasoning for going there.
ユグムントさんが殺されたように見せかけたいのなら、自宅付近で何らかの事件が起こるのではないかと思いました。そこで辺りをうろうろしていたら、西条とばったり出くわしたわけです。そこで不可解な事件が起こっていました。海に続く血です。西条がユグムントさんを殺したのかとも思いましたが、彼のコートに血はついていませんでした。
If Saijou used a knife to kill someone, there would be splatter on him.
後々西条の荷物を物色して分かったことですが、西条はどうやら ユグムントさんの外国人運転免許証を拾ったようなのです。
His driver's license? I finally opened my mouth.
しかしおそらく偽造でしょう。たとえユグムントさんが海に落ちたとして、どうして都合よく身分証が現場に残るんですか？
Maybe Maou left it there for Saijou.
しかし海に落とすということは被害者の身元の判別を遅らせるためでしょう。とても考えにくいですね。
So you're saying Maou pretended to kill someone again?
はい。しかしそれは我々には知らされないことでした。西条は信じ込んでいたようですがね。
Why would Maou do something like that? What's the point of faking murders that only Saijou believes to be real?
そこが私にも分かりませんでした。しかしこの2件の偽の殺人こそが今回の脅迫事件の全体像をつかむ有力な手がかりだったんです。
Leads?
何よりもおかしいのは、魔王はなぜカノンを直接脅迫しなかったのでしょうか。
Oh, yeah. He clearly knew about Gonzou's residence, so there'd be no question that he knew where a celebrity like Canon lived. And even if he didn't know, he could still leave a message for her at the school, the practice rink, or one of countless other places. Well, they're family, so the message will get passed along sooner or later. No, that's a pathetic explanation right off the bat. There'd be no point in dragging things out like that.
私はまた魔王が遊んでいると考えていました。
Yeah, he must have been. I guess that makes this just like the kidnapping case then. This was just another challenge for you from the beginning.
しかし実際は違いました。魔王は本気でした。緻密に計画を練り上げ、さも私と遊んでいるように見せかけて、我々を欺いていたんです。
Usami lowered her head and quivered a bit, as if she were gnawing on her defeat.
魔王の本当の標的はカノンではなかったんです。
What?
間違いありません。
I suppose the fact that Canon is unharmed supports the theory, but...
魔王は巧妙に自分がさもフィギュアスケート会場を狙っているように我々を誘導していました。その最もな例が西条です。西条がよほど優秀な人物ならわかります。けれど西条は魔王にとって足手まといに過ぎませんでした。結局は私たちに計画を漏らしています。しかしそれこそが罠だったんです。西条が足手まといであればあるほど魔王にとっては有能な共犯者だったのです。魔王はおそらく西条がユグムントさんの殺害の件も喋ると予想していたのでしょう。おかげでますます我々の目はフィギュアスケートに集まっていきました。
But didn't Maou treat Saijou kindly in an attempt to make him swear allegiance? What would he have done if Saijou hadn't confessed, or if we never even caught him?
そこは魔王も懸念していたことでしょう。今回はゴンゾーさんとその組織もついていました。暴力団の拷問に耐えられる人間などいないと踏んでいたのかもしれません。
And that bet paid out in full, despite Saijou's resilience to previous sadism. Usami once said that Maou would prepare a show befitting his audience, and she was right.
2日にわたる尋問の末、ユキの力も借りてようやく聞き出した魔王の計画です。私はホテルに誘導された時と同じ失敗をしてしまったんです。
We both were. Don't be so down. When you proposed the flower toss as the moment of truth, it seemed too brilliant to be wrong. Usami glanced up at me with very sad eyes.
どうもありがとうございます。
I wasn't trying to comfort you. In any case, I understand your point now. Like you said, there'd be no real reason for Maou to hurt Canon.
私は魔王が私の仲間を狙っていると勘違いしていました。
It was a reasonable thought, seeing as that was the case in the Miwa kidnapping incident. Wait, so the real target is... The passing couple's conversation suddenly sprang to my mind.
はい、その答えにたどり着いたのはカノンの演技が終わる直前でした。魔王は手の込んだ誘導を仕掛けてきましたよね。
Yeah.
今回の事件で最も振り回されたのは誰です？
You and...
浅井権蔵さんです。
I inhaled sharply, but only a tiny gasp escaped my throat.
だからこそ脅迫状は私と権蔵さん宛てに届いたんです。
To the monster and my beloved hero.
実際私も命を狙われました。権蔵さんはどうでしょう。今別の暴力団とも敵対して大忙しですよね。
Gonzou would never suspect that malice veins were actually pointed at himself.
ただそれもあくまで推測でして、また裏を書かれているのではないかと疑心暗鬼に駆られてしまいました。それで権蔵さんへの連絡が遅れてしまったことが悔しくて仕方がないのです。
How? I screamed without reservation. Then, that explosion in the residential area of the southern district was...
権蔵さんを狙ったものでしょう。
I can't believe this. Gonzou can't be dead. Have you tried getting in contact with him? Don't tell me that we're too late. I couldn't suppress my anxiety. Alright, look, I'm just gonna go check on Gonzou's house. No, I should check the hospital first. Darn it! The man might be a demon, but I owe him my life. I've wished for his death many times, but now that it's actually happened.
お優しいんですね、本当は。
Stop joking around. If Gonzou dies, a shrimp like me is done for.
安心してください、浅井さん。
What? Usami spoke calmly.
権蔵さんはご無事ですよ。
My limbs lost all strength. I could do nothing but blink repeatedly. I eventually calmed down. Soon after, Horibe came by and ushered us into a high-end club on Central Boulevard. Not a single normal customer was inside. The hostess wasn't there either.
俺が死んだと思ったか。
The giant acknowledged my arrival before taking a swig of strong whiskey. Yes, I'm so glad you're safe. The deep, bellowed laughter echoed throughout the club.
魔王は無縁の策を浪するのは得意なようだが、殺しというものが分かっていない。狩りをしようと思うなら、自らも食われる覚悟で臨まねばならん。実際魔王は俺の屋敷に乗り込んでくるのではなく、次元式の爆弾を用いて保身に走った。
Then you saw through his plan to booby trap your car.
いや、魔王の手口そのものは巧妙だと言わざるを得ん。証拠の一つも残していないのだろう。どんな手段で俺を殺しにかかるのか見ものではあったが、予測のしようはなかった。
Interesting. We're talking about your life here.
最初から奴が俺の命を狙うことは分かっていた。なぜなら脅迫状は俺に届いたのだから。宇佐美が解いたような細々とした理屈は後からつけ、読み通り不審な点はいくつも出てきた。階段から突き落として殺すなど愚の骨頂というもの。事故と殺人の区別がつかないほど士気は甘くない。他にも西条というかませ犬、不意に勢いづいた親衛会のカスども。だから俺はわざと自分の動きを知らせるような情報を裏に流した。
And your plan to march into battle tonight was...
俺は旧態依然とした親衛会とは違う。獲物を狩るのになぜ声を上げねばならん。
I'm well aware that he's a maverick among the Yakuza, and his radical philosophy is still difficult to comprehend at times.
お話中失礼します。今親衛会の内藤組長が見えてまして。
おう。
親父に面倒しを願っていまして、どうやら手打ちを申し出てるようですが。
和睦したいのだな。
ええ。 円子も詰めてきたようでして。
指などいらん。金を持ってこさせろ。
それは納得されないでしょう。組長にもメンツってもんが。
納得させろ。それが俺に従うということだ。できんのなら皆殺しにすると伝えろ。
Shine's boss came personally to apologize, yet Gonzou closed the door on me.
というわけだ、京介。魔王が車を爆破した頃、俺はここで酒を飲んでいた。
Watching everything with calm abandonment. But he could afford to be this calm, I suppose, seeing as he predicted everything. I see, your safety is more important than anything else. There was nothing else to be said. I bowed and walked through the door.
宇佐美、
はい。
分かっていると思うが、京介から目を離すな。
Usami, without answering, called me out. In the end, my plan was simply not thorough enough. Setting things in motion without confirming the target firsthand was a mistake. I suppose I underestimated Usami and Usai Gonzou a bit. Just a bit. I'll admit my defeat. There are many things one can learn from defeat. For example, Usai Gonzou really is something to behold. A lone hunting rifle can't kill him. Next time, though, I'll put you down for sure. Hey, champ. Looks like you got a high score today, too. Kenon smiled and opened the bag she was carrying. She began to pack her clothes. What's going on?
のんちゃん、もう帰るね、おうち。
Really? You know I don't mind if you stay, right?
ありがとう。
Another small smile came and went.
兄さんはウサミンとパパリンといろいろ忙しそうなので気が散るのです。
Here you go, thinking you're the center of the universe again.
ごめんね、わがままで。
What? Shocked, I took a long, hard look at Kanon's face. I could just barely see the tears shimmering on the surface of her eyes.
私はもうこういう風にしか生きられないから、自分が一番すごくていつでも正しいって思わなきゃやってられないから。ごめんね、もうバイバイ。
She bid a sudden farewell. As if she had set her heart in stone, Kanon's hands furiously, incessantly packed. Did something happen?
何もないよ。
But
何もなかったから、今度こそ踏ん切りがついたの。
her eyes were full of sadness, yet the tears within burned as if scolding me. I could only stand there dumbly. Should I have given more thought as to why Kanon came here to rely on me? We're siblings, though only in name. No doubt there was something I could have done for her.
なんかね、毎日楽しかったよ。帰ってきたら兄さんがいるって思うと。
I didn't do anything.
ああ、家だなって。味方がいるなって。スケート以外にも世界があるんだなって。
I was confused, restless, and anxious. Something like a breath was welling up in my throat, and I had to let it out. Why not stay, then? I held a hand out to Kanon. I'm so sorry. I've been so preoccupied with keeping bothersome things from you that I completely failed to realize that you must have been doing the same. However, Kanon merely replied in a dejected, hopeless tone.
氷の上が私の居場所。大丈夫。納得してるから。
She calmly returned my gaze with a smile.
私は私の道を行くよ。オリンピック絶対行くから見ててね。
Canon had already closed off her heart. There was nothing left for me to say.
じゃあね
Behind that light smile lies something that she'll never let me see again.
ああ、シャツの襟が曲がってるぞ。
Her slender fingers gently slid along my neck.
まったく兄さんは抜けてるとこあるからな。まったくもう
Tumultuous emotions bound me in silence. Canon has never cared about my looks before, but it was a thin sympathy. Leaving behind her in unsettling confusion, my sister and name only walked out the door. Okay. The icy, salty sea wind stabbed the skin. The darkness of this particular night allowed the stars to shine and made Tomomitsu City's populace all the more aware of the coming cold of winter. Horror sorted through recent events one more time. This time, with Zaigon's power, she had been able to force a stalemate. The pocket of this girl bathing in helplessness began to vibrate, and a melodic chime poured forth into the night. Her will to fight burned hot once more. It was the fun now beginning.
勝利の余韻を味わっているのか。
冗談だろ。
それを聞いて安心した。お前たちはまだ私を捕まえていないのだからな。
Focusing on the voice coming from the receiver, Haru bent down and looked to the bottom of the sea.
あの血は動物か何かだったのか。
近くのスーパーで魚を安売りしていたものでな。
警察が調べればすぐに殺人なんて起こっていないことがわかる。だから西条に確認させ、西条の口から私たちに告げさせたんだな。
そこまで考えていたわけではない。私はただ西条に力があるところを見せつけてやるつもりだった。死体が上がらぬ海などといかにも怪しげな嘘もついたが、彼は純粋だった。換気扇に投げ入れるだけで店の人間を全て殺せる劇薬を簡単に作れると信じれるくらい。
C の5番の席にあった紙袋にガムテープで封がしてあったのは西条のミスではなく魔王の指示だな。
気づいてもらわねば困るのでな。いいヒントだったと思うが。
Darn. Haru clicked her tongue in her mind.
おかげで私たちは西条を追うことに必死になった。その間に魔王はじっくりと西条を手なずけていったわけだな。
手なずけるという言い方は心外だが、彼は誰でもいいから構ってほしかった。私はそんな可愛い坊やと少しだけ遊んでやったに過ぎない。
同じことだ。
いや違う。彼は楽しかったはずだ。私と出会ったことで捨て鉢のような人生にようやく春が訪れた。たとえ破滅が待っていたとしても普段は味わえない興奮と期待を覚えていただろう。
Haru had already predicted now since
お前もそうだ、宇佐美春。やっと私に巡り会えた。お前はただの死に損ない。お前に必要なのは愛でも友情でもなく敵であり悪であり、そう固くできる思い込みだ。
Haru felt the whole of this devil that dug into her chest widen. Her face grew stiff, her breath shallow.
だからバイオリンも捨てたのだろう。
Keep silent. Endure it. Just endure it. The growing, licking flames of hate held Haru fast to the ground. She could only stand there steadfast,
まだま
dumbstruck.
だ構ってやる。
Now said gently.
決して春の訪れない冬の遊び場で。
At some point, the dial tone reached her ears. The violin. With her eyes perfectly still, Haru just walked. Don't think about anything. Kick away the darkness of the night. Moan in pain. Retain this anger. Bear this curse. Put your entire existence into this hatred. If Haru did anything else, she might think about trying to regain that precious toy she threw away so long ago. Okay, that's chapter 3. Whoa. Okay, I'll see a little bit of the beginning of chapter 4, and then that'll be it. Wow, ow, she's just closing in on Maou. She's really having trouble with him. Maou just keeps playing with her. This is insane. I'm very sorry for my inability to deliver the results you were hoping for.
まさか君が失敗するとは。
Somea is lamenting the fact that I couldn't bring forth Kanon's downfall. Well, this was never really about skating in the first place, though. However, I promise you it's nothing to anguish over.
なぜだ。
As Kanon has indeed won the Japan Championships, she'll move on to the World Championships and then likely on to the Olympics next year. But your protege, Seda, is not a bad athlete herself. In fact, I dare say she has a stronger will than Kanon. Spring will most certainly come for her, and in the very near future.
そんな慰めは聞きたくないが、今は納得するしかないな。
I apologize for falling short of your expectations. Somea took the opportunity to glare at me with displeasure. Just let me wallow in penitence for a while.
そうかね。
Yes, I'm not feeling all that well anyway. And I must finish my preparations.
わかった。君の力がなくてもやっていけるとまでは言わんが、差し当たって重要な案件もないことだし。
Excellent. It was important to mark my record with a mistake in order to distance myself from Somea. He won't let me go easily unless I appear inefficient. In that case, I'll be leaving.
次に会うときはいつになるかな。
I shook my head and said, I don't know. However, I knew. We'll meet again when this corporation falls. The minute hand of the clock points to midnight and the New Year finally arrives. After the incident, Kanon continued her winning streak, earning herself a seat at the World Figure Skating Championships. It appears that she will be departing for America next month, and our relationship will become a long-distance one. Though it seemed like a shadow that had loomed over Kanon's heart these past few weeks, in the end, it turned out to be nothing but misplaced concern. Phew. My head is throbbing. I was forced to attend a Yakuza party, which naturally squeezed the life out of me. Even Gonzou was willing to make an offering to the shrine's god in order to keep up with the relations within the Soa Alliance. He participated in the ceremony with a gloomy disposition. Alright, there are still 2 people on my list to pass holiday greetings to. I took a shower, changed my clothes, and prepared to leave. Usami? Hey, what's up?
あ、新年明けましておめでとうございます。
Yeah, Happy New Year.
じゃあ行きましょうか。
What?
神社です。
Huh? I get this feeling that I made some sort of commitment. Look, if we had any arrangements, I completely forgot about them.
一緒におみくじ引くって約束してくれたはずですが。
Never mind. Looking at it objectively, I couldn't possibly have made a promise like that.
とにかく待ってますわ。
She forcibly continued the conversation and told me the location of the shrine. Fine. If you're that determined, I'll go. I'm warning you though, I'll be pretty late.
OK です。では。
She seemed a bit restless. New Year's Day, 5 o'clock in the morning. The party was finally over. There was one thing that surprised me, though. I didn't expect to meet Shiratori's father there. But seeing as he's in the construction business, I guess it's only natural for him to have some kind of connection to the Yakuza. He asked me to look out for his daughter, but I had almost completely forgotten about Shiratori these days. We were supposed to meet somewhere around this nest of shrines. Oh god, I just realized I'd be making the first shrine visit of the year with Usami. But where the heck is she? I called her. She quickly answered the phone.
待ちかねましたよ。
Well, where are you?
鳥居らへんです。
So am I, but I don't see you anywhere. I should be able to spot her instantly, what with her long, conspicuous hair and all.
自分超おめかししてますよ。
An outfit? I never have imagined that.
期待が膨らんできたでしょう。
Usami and a kimono, huh? No, I'm kinda interested. Hold on. What's that squid-like hair? I see you now. I'll be there in a second. Huh?
はい。
Where's the outfit?
してるじゃないですか。
That's a jogging suit.
おめかしじゃないですか。まあちょっと中野ブロードウェイ入ってますよね。
Hey, that's rude to Nakano Broadway. You're donning loungewear for crying
お
out
かし
loud.
いな。目いっぱい決めてきたつもりなんですが。
God's sake, were you planning on running a marathon or something?
は
And how are you not freezing your butt off? It's below freezing out here right now, isn't it?
あ、は
Wait, now that I think about it, you're always in your school uniform.
あ、は
See, I knew you were cold.
あ。もうかれこれ2時間は待ってましたからね。
Hey, don't blame me. I said I'd be late.
連絡あってもよかったじゃないですか。
Yeah, I guess I could have. Sorry.
せっかくのデートなのに。
Don't say such disgusting things.
だって
What's with this chick? What are you all pouty about?
結局自分の格好については何点くらいなんですかね。
What are you going on about now?
何点なんすかね。
Oh, come on. I don't know. I checked Usami out, looking her up and down. But still, in the end, a jogging suit is a jogging suit. Still, she seems serious. I better compliment her. But I would be lying through my teeth. What should I do?
これが美少女芸だったら確実に選択肢出てますよ。
Shut up.
正解は2番の手放しで褒めるでした。
Compliment her. I don't care about the right answer.
なんでそう冷たいんすか。
What? You're the one acting weird.
別にいいっすよ。
She sniffles a bit. What are you all down in the dumps about?
お腹が空いて力が出ないのです。
So that's what you were planning. I finally understood. You're going to ask me to treat you to lunch, aren't you? Usami's face nodded up at that. You start laughing, then you get all depressed again. What are you playing at?
愛する者が死んだ時には自殺しなきゃなりません。
Fine, let's just get this over with and go visit the shrines.
ここでさりげなく手を引いてくれるわけですよね。
Huh?
だってめちゃめちゃ混んでるじゃないですか。
So?
はぐれるといけないからみたいな。
You think I'm gross enough to grab you and start panting?
は
What are you looking at?
あ、見ちゃダメなんすか。
Well,
手もつながない、見てもいけない、服も褒めてくれない。お決まりの言葉はいつも髪切れよだ。まったく、自分は浅井さんの何なんですか。
nothing. This chick's got a few screws loose. Dawn began to break. Hey, let's go watch the first sunrise of the new year. Which direction is east?
お日様は西から昇るのだ。
Shut up, genius.
そんなことより自分大凶だったんですけど。
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good right now.
まさか浅井さんも大凶っすか。
Do you need to clean out your darn ears? I got excellent luck.
まあ自分も2回目は小吉だったんですけどね。
You're not supposed to pull it twice.
3回目でやっと大吉が出ました。
You're in for a year of divine punishment, girl.
にしても寒いっすね。
Stop complaining. You're cold because of that getup you're wearing.
はあ、不評っすね。
Apparently she was actually pretty serious about her outfit. Huh? Wait. I focused my eyes on Usami's top. Hey, is this jogging suit?
気づきましたか。
That's a designer line jersey, isn't it? I thought those things go for like 30,000 yen.
上下で2000円ですが何か。
I should have guessed. There's no way she could have paid full price. Wait, what did you mean by have you noticed it yet?
は。
What did you think I noticed if it wasn't the price of your jersey?
ですからこの服装の良さにです。
Proclaiming that so grandly doesn't make it true, Usami.
じゃあジャージの語源知ってますか。
Why would I know something like that?
ジャージー島の漁師さんの作業着から来てるんです。
I see.
今じゃベストジャージスト賞ってのもあるくらいです。
I see.
どうです？ちょっとおしゃれに見えてきたでしょ。
But yours was 2,000 yen.
自分そんなおかしいっすかね。
Yep, you're pretty freaking strange.
具体的にどの辺が？
Well, for one, you're walking around town in a jersey on New Year's Day. People are going to think you're a delinquent or a wigger.
あとは仲間由紀恵さんっすかね。
That was a costume she wore for a drama. It doesn't give you the right to brag about that ridiculous jogging suit.
芸能人のファッションだと思って参考にしてみたんすけどね。
Bad luck then, I guess. Usami let out a sigh, slumping her shoulders as she exhaled.
なんかすいませんね。
Oh?
いや、自分みたいの連れ回して恥かかせてしまったかなと。ほんとすいません。
Don't be. It's no big deal.
すいません。
She cast her eyes down apologetically and edged closer to me.
浅井さんは目立つの嫌いなのに。
It's alright. It doesn't bother me.
あ、いえ。
She must have dodged someone who was coming toward her, as her head came into contact with my chest for some reason.
あ。
Usami leaned against me. Hey, Usami.
すいません、浅井さん。
She was shaking.
もう少しこのままで。
What? What did you just say?
お願いします。もう少しだけ。
No way. I suddenly felt the blood rush to my face. You... Now that I think about it, why did she invite me to the first shrine visit of the new year?
要は私を選べってことです。
No way. Usami? Usami remained silent, as if she were enduring something. What the heck? Well, I had thought, no way, reality had surfaced before my very eyes. You were serious? You really do have a thing for me.
超あったけ。
You were just trying to warm yourself up. Wait, that was it? What? Should I just go again? Okay, that's nice. Little New Year's Day scene right there. Cool. And now, next time I'll be going into chapter 4. Bye.